Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? How you feeling?
Hi.
Today, I have my beautiful girlfriend with me, Alexa. And today, I kind of wanted to do a review of Animal Crossing, but with a twist. I am going to let my girlfriend review, from her perspective, Animal Crossing New Horizons. She's a recent new owner of a Switch. Did you have a
Switch
history?
Lite?
A Switch
Switch
Lite.
Lite.
Okay, sorry. Coral Edition.
Coral Edition?
Coral Edition. And did you ever play like the original or previous Animal Crossing games?
No.
So that's why I also wanted to get her opinion, because I think this is like probably the most genuine review you're gonna get from somebody who has probably no experience with the franchise. But yeah, how we're gonna go through this, I decided to do outlines. So we're gonna go through each outline and give our unadulterated opinions on this Animal Crossing New Horizon review. Do you want to preface and say anything?
Just that I'm excited to do this, and we're gonna see how it goes. And if you aren't already subscribed to his channel, you should do that right now and like and comment on this video, because that would be very nice.
Likewise, I will link my beautiful girlfriend's YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to. I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, I've never played any of the versions. I've always seen everything on the internet referencing it. I've always heard of Tom Nook, and I see a lot of memes. Even before this one released, I saw a lot of memes about people saying they owe money to Tom Nook. There's one in particular, and you can insert this. There's one in particular where there's a girl, like, what looks like she's in a bar or a club or something, and she has her 3DS, and it was like, when the party is lit, but you gotta pay your debt to Tom Nook or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that meme so much. So I knew what the basis of the game was, but I've never played it.
And me, the only experience I ever had was when I played it on the GameCube when it first came out. Literally for like 2-3 hours. I was never big into like the life sim type of genre of games. Mostly because I tend to get very competitive. Not competitive. I feel like I want to do the best I can at a game that's supposed to be relaxing.
Also, there's no measurement system.
Exactly.
Like, there's no really reward-based system. I mean, aside from trading goods and services in Animal Crossing, like,
Yeah.
if you're used to playing a game that you do this, you get this many points, you move to this level, then yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and that's a great segue into my first point.
Yeah, so for those who may have missed it, if you're not subscribed, which you should be, if you aren't already, you can just do that right now. We just unboxed my Switch Lite.
Oh yeah, she's a new owner. New owner
of the Switch Lite.
Of the Switch Lite.
Yeah, he kindly gifted this to me on the day that the coral color was released. So that was a really big surprise and really exciting. But yeah, so the first thing we downloaded was Animal Crossing. And from what I gather with the story, and I could be completely off because it doesn't seem that there is really much of a story. It just seems like they went to this deserted island and they're just building homes and businesses for the little local animals and myself, and you just do chores, but you just do different services, I guess, and you get money, you give things, like, you can really do with it what you want. So I think that's where I say it doesn't feel like it has a story, because you can actually just do whatever you want on the island, whatever you feel like. So
Yeah, the story is definitely a bit bare bones. So it doesn't necessarily have a story, but it follows kind of like a storyline of completion. It sort of makes sense. You first gotta, start out with your resident services, and then from there it just kind of builds up. So there is kind of like a lore behind Animal Crossing, but there's not necessarily a main story. I think the real magic behind Animal Crossing and the whole franchise is its villagers. And that's one thing that I do remember from the original, the GameCube version of the game, was that the villagers were really mean, and they were extremely harsh. And I kind of feel that because of the times, they changed a lot from the villagers, which I can kind of appreciate. Like, I know that sometimes from the original game, they were unnecessarily mean, but at the same time, that I feel like they still kept a little bit of their meanness, and that gives them personality in New Horizons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't understand how Goose telling me that he didn't really like my checkered dress isn't mean.
That's true.
But I didn't buy that dress for you, Goose. I bought it for me because I thought I lost my other favorite dress and I needed something new to wear. And I couldn't go around with some plaid shorts. That's a no. Also, it's spring and I just wasn't feeling it. I needed a dress.
Yeah.
Goose, I don't talk to him anymore. I will be trying to remove him from my island. I don't know. I've heard that's really mean to do.
But yeah, I think the villagers are what really are the driving force behind the story of New Horizons. And I think that's what makes the game so fun. Besides all the constant achievements you get throughout the game, it's, you get to know these villagers and they become kind of like part of your family in a weird anthropomorphic way. But yeah, next point, crafting systems. What do you think of crafting?
Oh, the little workbench?
Yeah, just like the whole thing behind tools breaking and you having to gather the materials again. This is a new thing in the franchise from what I heard. A lot of people are not fans of it.
It can get kind of annoying when you are a new villager. I mean, not new villager, but new to Animal Crossing, or what should I say? I guess when you're starting out, because the whole aim is to collect a bunch of things so that you can start selling, so that you can provide things for other. So, for example, once you kind of establish yourself a bit on your island, Tom Nook starts asking favors of you. They make it seem like you have an option, but like, if you want more things, then it's not an option. So part of that, in wanting to bring more villagers to the island, he asks you to build 3 plots of land, or choose 3 plots of land for, I had 3. Is that standard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 plots of land, and to collect indoor and outdoor material, or not materials, but actual furnished items for each plot of land. So you're looking at, like 18 different things. And when it comes to collecting the materials to craft these things, like, I was getting really frustrated because my axe kept breaking and I needed wood for predominantly almost all of the things I needed for each of the plots of land. So it kind of got frustrating because I had to keep then running back to build my axe over and over, and then I didn't have enough materials. I had to conserve my materials for what I was trying to build for the other villagers, so I couldn't put that toward building other workbenches in more convenient plots on other parts of the island, so I didn't have to keep running back. And I keep getting this nervous feeling that my pole vault is gonna break while I'm on another part of the island and I can't get back to my house. So, things like that. So it can be kind of tedious, especially when most of the things in my catalog at the moment are wood-based, and that requires you to chop trees all day, so
yeah,
the axe is going to be flimsy, it's going to break.
And I think that's a huge, and we're going to go a little bit more into I don't want to call them worst aspects, but the aspects that can be patched or worked on. Mm-hmm. But my biggest concern with the crafting system, I don't care about looking for materials and crafting new things. I don't care about things breaking. Like, I feel that keeps you engaged with the game. The problem is
true.
Not all tools break. For example, the pole vault never breaks. The ladder
good to know.
Never breaks.
Good to know.
Yeah, the wand never breaks. So why would the other tools break? That really seems a little bit illogical in my opinion.
But yeah, I guess the crafting system is fun because, like you said, there's always something to do. Like, you're not gonna run out of things to do. While if your materials are constantly breaking, because now you have to go do this then do this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and this is a perfect segue to the next topic: grinding. Fishing, capturing insects, assessing fossils. This is the biggest part of the game. This is what makes Animal Crossing, which is the whole grinding. I love it. I love fishing. I've never learned more about insects ever before than playing this game. But I will say that I will lose my mind after reading the same puns over and over again about a sea bass. That is my only main concern. There's not enough variety in the grinding, so it does get a little bit repetitive. Shout out to Blathers and all his useful information.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Comment down below, guys, if you actually let Blathers elaborate on the things that you donate.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning how to fish was frustrating, but once I've learned, it's the easiest thing to do, I think, out of everything else.
That's the most fun one. Personalization?
Yeah.
Creating your character. What is your experience with that?
I love her. I don't love the initial hairstyles. That's a no. I just don't think it's fully representative and it's not cute. I don't know. I guess that's why you have to keep playing. But the initial hairstyles I wasn't loving. But I do love that I can make her black. That's amazing. I heard that that wasn't a thing. So that's awesome. And I do love that you can unlock certain things later, like clothes and hairstyles. And now that Mabel is on my island, as of 2 days ago, I can go and buy more clothes, so I'm excited. And, you know, I just got a little mirror and I bought some hairstyles with my Nook Miles. So I'm trying all that out, and it's really exciting to choose a new outfit every day. That sounds really trivial, but I look forward to it because
people love that.
Yeah, I love giving her a new personality every day. Or if I did a day full of labor, then, you know, they don't really shower. I'm like, oh, she has to change her clothes.
Yeah.
But I love it. I really look forward to that aspect of it and making her, I almost feel like she's an enhanced version of how I'd like to dress, because you only have so many options, and you know that in real life some of these things you would absolutely never wear. But I get to do that. Like if I want to change her hair to pink, I could change her hair to pink, and I can do different hairstyles that my actual hair texture might not be able to do, at least not so easily. So I get to kind of just live out my fantasy through her and build what I want in the house the way that I want it. And I think that's the most fun part.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I would never know how frustrating it's gonna be, for example, for your hair, for your type of hair, to not be able to choose it. But I will say that Animal Crossing New Horizons is not even representative of my own hair. You don't even have curly hair on there.
Yeah.
You don't even have like nothing that'll even simulates a wave or something. Like it's all straight, or it's either straight or it just, they have like that fade.
They have the one fade. Basically, look up any NBA player right now and like they have that hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me it's like, oh, it's a chance for me to do things that I can't do with my hair, but I totally get the argument of like it's still not fully representative of all the different hair textures. Like there's not very much to go off of with like hair that actually looks like mine.
Yeah. And also men clothing is so limited.
Oh god.
It's only shirt, t-shirt, and pants basically.
I think ours has like no shirts.
No shirts?
It's like skirts, dresses, and jackets, and I'm like, where are her clothes?
Yeah.
When is she gonna wear a top?
Yeah, I will say though, dresses are a lot more intricate. It's the most intricate piece of clothing in the whole game, and I really do like them.
Yeah.
Even when I get them, I'm like, oh, this will be great, and I just send it to her.
Yeah.
Cause
I mean, you could wear them.
I could wear them, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't shaved my legs.
That's true.
Next aspect I want to talk about, since I send you stuff and we send each other stuff all the time, that goes into online. What do you think of online?
I think it's cool. I still don't fully understand the difference between online and local play.
Local play is a type of online, but you just have to be close to the other person,
Okay.
in the same room. But for
How do they
example, they I think they communicate through Bluetooth. I
Oh,
think Switches communicate through Bluetooth if they're close to each other. Because you can also play Mario Party with other Switches in the room,
Oh,
and everybody
okay.
has kind of like their own system. But online, I'll say it just because I probably think I have a little bit more experience
Yeah.
playing with online. The loading screens are extremely, extremely annoying. They get in the way. Yesterday, for example, I did a fishing tournament with
yeah.
a friend. I got there. I was one of the first ones to get there. You can have up to 8 players on an island, but it takes for each player from the game letting you know that you have a visitor coming until the person gets there. I think it's around a minute or 2 minutes. So you have to wait those 2 minutes.
Because you can't do anything.
You can't do anything. It's a loading screen, but it's like a 2-minute loading screen until they land into the island, and then they come out, and then they introduce you, and then you're like, okay.
So it interrupts every time someone flies.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So imagine having 8 people over, do that 8 times. That's 16 minutes almost of not doing anything besides waiting.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. And when you leave, it does the same thing. So that is my biggest gripe with online. It's the unnecessary windows or like the unnecessary loading screens that the game puts for no reason. Like there's really no reason for this whole thing to be a part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you go into an island, it shows you as if, as if you were landing in an airport.
Yeah.
It shows you like, oh, this person is coming from this island.
I love it. I think it's cute.
It's cute, but not after like the 10th time.
True.
You're like, okay, I get it.
Especially when you guys are trying to get started.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this fishing tournament.
Yeah. So this is another great thing I love about the game, and this has been a thing since the first Animal Crossing, is seasonalities. Seasons. It really engages you a lot more into the game, but especially since technology has gotten a lot better. It's just amazing hearing of people who are halfway across the world and they're experiencing a completely different season. Like, that just creates a level of community between the players that I don't think any other game does, because you're all kind of like living different realities at the same time. It's a great part of the game.
Yeah, I'm really sad because today, as we're filming, it's Easter Sunday, so April 12th, or Bunny Day in the
Bunny
game.
Day.
Which has been very annoying since April 1st. But I'm really sad because the cherry blossoms are gone. Like, we had cherry blossom trees, and you could catch the leaves? Cherry blossoms?
The petals.
Yeah. You could catch the petals to, create stuff, or it's just pretty. And then I just came on and just gone.
Yep.
And I didn't know that's really how cherry blossoms work. So for me, I'm just a little sad because it looks a little different on my island now. I kind of don't like it.
Yeah, and that's we're just hitting all the segues right now.
I know.
Timed events.
Yeah.
We've only really experienced Bunny Day so far, so I can't really talk about future timed events because we're not cheaters in this household. We do not time skip. Some people like to play the game that way. We don't judge. If you want to play the game that way, that's cool. But we try and stick to what we're currently living. I feel it's a lot more engaging that way.
I like signing on, and I have Tom Nook. I had a preview, and I know Isabel comes in and starts doing the announcements, but I have Tom Nook right now, and I like signing on and him telling me the exact date and exact time.
Yeah. Yeah, because it feels like real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, timed events are a great thing if done correctly. Bunny Day, I feel, could have been done way better. Absolutely hate the rate of spawn for the eggs.
Oh.
It's completely ridiculous. Like, it I love fishing. It made me completely hate the idea of fishing because
Yeah.
5 times out of 10 it's an egg.
And then that takes up room in your pockets. Like, you've played long enough that you've unlocked how to get more space in your pockets, but I still have the 2 rows. And when, 5, how many dots are in each row? Like 10?
I don't know.
I don't know.
think 10, yeah, probably.
Yeah. But like when one of your rows, half of it is tools, and you're keeping stones and tree branches on deck for when your tools are breaking. Now I only have X amount of time trying to catch a fish. I'm just getting a bunch of eggs, and it just, the egg production was just such a headache.
Yeah, definitely such a headache. But yeah, that brings me, my God. Segues are amazing.
I know. We just really are on top of it.
Exactly. Worst aspects of the game?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I can tie it into what I was just saying about the eggs and such. One of my biggest gripes with the game is that it doesn't, categorize in your pockets? Only certain things do. If I catch more than 1 manila clam, it takes up 1 spot each. But if I get a bunch of tree branches, then they're gonna collect in one place together. So it's frustrating when I'm trying to collect bugs for blathers or just to sell. If I get 3 of the same butterfly, well then I've lost 3 spots in my pockets. And again, it might just be because my pockets are so limited right now, but I'll finally have pole vaulted halfway across the island trying to collect some weeds and stuff. And then my pockets are full and I want to keep everything that's in them, so I have to come all the way back, offload into my storage because I now have a house, or sell. And if you don't have a house yet, you don't have storage. So it's just a constant kind of like, why do I have 8 slots for manila clams, or I don't know, sea conches or whatever they're called. I don't understand why those have their own individual spot instead of just piling up like oranges or whatever fruit you have on your island, or the branches or the stones, the clay, the other materials. I don't understand that. Like, that's one thing that really just gets me.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I'd even call it. It's storage management. It's definitely, it's a hassle. It's a chore. It's I think it brings down the enjoyment of the game so much. But yeah, that's a great point. Consolidation of the materials is definitely a huge one. And it's something that, why is it not consistent across all things? It really doesn't make sense. If there was a point behind it, I'd be all for it, but there really is no point. Another big negative, in my opinion, on the game is menus. Menus are so restrictive and they are so repetitive that it gets to my nerves. For example, let's say you go to Blathers and you have fossils. You want to assess the fossils first. But since they talk so much, I find myself constantly pressing A. Okay, keep going. Just let me get through the next
step, I guess.
Bubble of text, whatever it's called. And I end up hitting make a donation as an option. And then Blathers tells me, oh, my feathers. You don't have anything to donate.
Yeah.
And then it takes you out, brings you back to the beginning of the whole thing.
And you have to like interact with him again, and then he does the whole like, oh, I wasn't asleep. It's like, yes, you were.
Yeah.
And he says he wasn't asleep, and that he's doing this, and this, and then all of a sudden you hit it again, and it's like.
And then you assess the fossil, and then he gives them back to you.
And then you have to
make
a
give them back to you. It's like, what? This is very counterproductive. And now that I'm reading more on user experience and user interface, that is very terrible UI and UX design. Okay, big words. Which that brings me to my other point, which was
about Blathers. Well, you're saying menus in general. What about using the
crafting?
Yeah, same thing.
The game doesn't let you craft in bulks.
Yeah.
If you have 20 manila clams and you want to craft 20 fish bait from that, the game should give you the option to say, all right, let me craft 20 of these.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it 20 times over and over just to get 20 of those items.
And do your little dance of like, woohoo!
Yeah, woohoo! Every single time. I mean, sure, it's endearing, but yeah, and also when you're trying to sell a hot item and you want to craft 20 of those, it should just give me the option. It just makes everything a lot more enjoyable, a lot quicker. It just makes the game much more of a chore. Mm-hmm. The grinding is already there. We don't need another level of grinding, in my opinion.
Also, too, when I've caught something, it has interrupted me from catching other things. Yeah. Like, I have had a grasshopper right next to me after I just caught a cherry blossom petal. And since I'm doing my dance about my cherry blossom petal, I've turned around and it's gone by the time that little screen goes out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
There's a lot of barriers to make everything more smooth.
Yeah.
But to end on a positive note, graphics.
Oh, it's so cute.
What do you like about?
I love all of it. I think everyone is so cute. I think even like something that would be traditionally not cute is so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll definitely say that it's one of the better looking games on the Switch. It's very detailed as far as the insects goes, as far as the fish go, as far as the fossils go. Like, if you really look into the details behind the fossils, once they're up in the display in the museum, it's a beautiful looking collection of items. It really doesn't clash with the cutesy characters and the animals with something so realistic. Like, it's weird. You see the villagers and they look like cartoons, or like cartoon characters. And they're looking at fish that look completely realistic. But it still doesn't feel like out of place. Like, they did a really good job at balancing both art styles. I will say it's also very detailed. I love that you can see the fur on certain villagers. You can see the fur on Tom Nook.
Yeah.
And Timmy and Tommy. They look like felt animals.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful looking game.
I also like the attention to detail with time of day. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because my eyes are just super sensitive to light. I like that when I come on in the evening, it's sunset-ish. So it's like this like sepia tone over it. In the house, you can change the lighting. There's like a dimmer, basically, which I love as well. And it's little details like that. Like, they didn't need to put that in there, but I appreciate that so much. But I think There was one thing I absolutely had to change besides our little gripe with like the menus and such. When you get stung,
Nah.
for me, I don't. It might just be a personal thing. I haven't seen anything about it, but I also don't look for people to say it. The eye, it does something like it's swelling. It is so visually jarring for me that it makes me feel physically nauseous to see the eye. I don't know what it is about it looking like a blown up Band-Aid or something. I can't take it.
That's
It's just so
amazing.
personal. I don't know. Like when I first saw it that first time. But yeah.
I think that's just a testament to how well this game looks.
Yeah.
It even makes you physically ill.
Yeah. Love that. Who doesn't look for that when they get a video game?
Right?
I love it. I'm so glad that I've jumped on this train, and I feel like I was excited for it because you were excited for it when it was coming up and about to come out. And I get the hype. Like, I know there's a bunch of people out there who don't really get it, especially as we're in quarantine and the Switches have sold out and people don't understand, like, what, even people who've never heard of it, they're like, what is this? Like, I'm not gonna play this, blah, blah, blah. No, it makes sense. It's just a really good mental break, and it's something as simple as doing chores, building an island, catching fish. Like, it requires that much amount of your brain to focus on it that it filters out any of the unfortunate stuff that's going on right now. Like when you're in the game, you really are focused on the game, even if they may seem meaningless or trivial, the types of things they do. It's been really nice to have that sort of escape, if you will.
Yeah. This game was divine intervention, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the game. But without further ado, perfect timing. There's a storm.
Yeah,
Just-
there's literally a storm about to happen.
Wow.
That's why you've probably seen it getting darker and darker and darker.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try my best. Try and like keep it as balanced as possible, but yeah. It's just
There's a storm.
literal storm out there.
Yeah.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down. Every bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Links to my girlfriend's YouTube channel are down below. Make sure to follow her. She's amazing.
So nice.
She's very. I love her videos because her writing. You should also follow her blog. Her writing is something I really admire. It's. I wish I could write like her. But yeah, make sure to follow her. I'll link everything down below. And without further ado, please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace.
Bye.